Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dina Shepard with Care Assurance, and I want to give you all a warm welcome to the Home Care Marketing Strategy Masterclass. And this masterclass is the Home Care Marketing Strategies for the new home care agency. So we're going to talk about common problems that we see new home care agencies face. But these marketing challenges and business development challenges can happen even with your seasoned home care providers as well. So it's not just for the new, but I wanted to provide this masterclass for those of you all that are within your first 1 to 3 years of business. That's usually that new period you're trying to figure out what's going on. So again, my name is Dina Shepard, and I am the owner and senior executive coach and consultant with Care Assurance. At Care Assurance, we provide 2 levels of services. We have a business division, and we provide coaching and consulting services to home care, adult daycare, senior living, and we are actually getting ready to add non-medical transportation to our consulting platform. And then we also have a healthcare platform as well, and we provide geriatric care management, both telephonic support, and we also provide field support across the U.S. So we are just really launching the geriatric care management service. So we're very excited about that. I was a previous owner of a home care company for a few years. We did sell in January of 2017. Prior to that, I'm a nurse by trade, and I've worked in senior care my entire career. So this is not just a business for me, but a true passion, serving seniors, supporting you all that are providing the direct care. That is my contribution to making sure that good care and service is being delivered. So this evening, we are going to talk about 5 crucial strategies to help you build and grow your home care business. So again, whether you are a new agency or you are an established agency and you're in need of some sales and marketing strategy and support, this masterclass is going to be able to give you an abundant amount of information that's going to allow you to leave with tangible information that you can just start implementing in your business, okay? So if you haven't already, make sure you grab yourself some paper, get a couple pens in case one dies, you have another one extra, and let's go ahead and get into the program. So now we're going to talk about the program objectives. So let's go ahead and review this for this evening, okay? So we are going to be discussing the 5 crucial steps that you're going to need to utilize in your business. When you're talking about business development, growing your business, sales and marketing process, this is what we're going to be talking about tonight, okay? So the objectives that we're going to hit and what you're going to learn. Number 1, we're going to discuss the following. We're going to discuss how to develop a strategic marketing plan for your agency. Number 2, we're going to identify key professional referral sources and how to properly sell your services, okay? Number 3, we're going to talk about how you can increase your client-generated word-of-mouth referrals. Number 4, we're going to talk about how you can use strategically your online presence through the use of social media, websites, blogs and articles, and email marketing. And finally, we're going to go over some of the most common pitfalls that we see in home care businesses, whether you're new or whether you're a seasoned business. We're going to talk about those pitfalls and what you can do to avoid them, okay? So let's go ahead and jump right in. So number 1, how to develop a strategic marketing plan for your agency, okay? Prior to initiating anything in your business, you're going to hear me use the word strategic a lot, and there's a reason for that. But prior to doing anything in your business, if you're a new home care provider or you've already gone through the licensure process, if that's a requirement for your state, and you're now ready to get out there and get clients, that's the most common question that I receive. How can I get clients? And most people want to hear the quick and easy. They want to know that there's a secret sauce that I can just go out there and go to one person or say one thing, and that's going to solve my marketing issues. And I'm here to tell you, unfortunately, that is not the case, okay? So there's some planning that we need to do, and there's some things and some steps that we need to take in order to get there. But it's not painful, and I'm going to give you all the steps today, all right? So the first thing you want to do when you're thinking about either starting your home care or you have a home care agency and you really haven't put a plan in place, the first thing you want to do is engage in some marketing research, okay? Very, very important. It's imperative that you conduct marketing research within your desired service areas. You need to know what is going on, you know, who's out there already. So one of the things you want to do, again, is research in your area. How many agencies are already established? Do you live in an area that has an abundance of agencies? Do you live in an area that's more of maybe a college town? There's not a lot of seniors in the area, not a lot of hospitals in the area. It's more generated and geared towards college students. All of these things are very important before you take the time and invest in a particular location to run your business. Because when you do that, all that's going to happen is it's going to make it more challenging and difficult for you if you're in an area that does not have a lot of seniors. It's going to make it very difficult for you to be able to get out there, market, and have successful results, okay? So it's very important to know what your area looks like. If there's a lot of agencies, let's say it's a particular city that you're looking to open your office and start business. If there's a ton of agencies within that city, but maybe 20, 30 miles down, there's not a lot of agencies in that area, not a lot of people serving that area, but you've identified a need, which is step number 2, determine a need, then you may want to look at where you're going to serve. Okay, so number 1 and 2 go together, researching the agencies in your area and then determining the need for service. Again, you don't want to set up in a college town where there's a lot of college students unless that's your ideal clientele. So if you want to provide home care services to party hard, drunk, I fell and hurt myself, I need home care services, college students being wild, then that may be your prime location. But if you're looking to provide senior care, you may want to reconsider where you go. Now, number 3, we're going to talk about in some detail. It's very important, and you probably are looking at number 3 like, well, identify my client. I know who my client is. And a lot of times when I ask that question to people, you know, who is your ideal client? They give me a very general answer. They're like, well, someone that's 65 years of age and older, and they need care. And that's right, that there's nothing wrong with that. But when you're thinking about strategy, you really want to know in a lot more detail exactly who your ideal client is. So a lot of times in the coaching and consulting world, you may hear that be referred to as creating your client avatar. And this is going to develop in your mind's eye who you are meant to serve. So here are some of the things that you want to think about when you're developing your home care client avatar, your ideal client. And we're utilizing this information under the private pay model, but these are strategies that can be utilized for private pay, for Medicaid, it doesn't matter, okay? So one of the things that you want to consider, number one, is age range. You want to make sure you have an idea of exactly who you're serving. Are you serving seniors? Are you serving pediatrics? Perhaps you're doing both. There's nothing wrong with that. But you want to identify that, because if you are marketing to two age ranges, your message is going to be different, okay? Your message is going to totally be different, how you engage with the client, how you engage with the family. Polar opposites when you're talking about an adult child caregiver and you're talking about a parent, a mother and father to a young child, okay? So it's very important to know the age range in which you want to serve. Location, you want to make sure that you pinpoint out your service areas, and when you are developing your market strategy, you have those locations in mind. So if you get a phone call from a client, prospective client in Georgia, and you live in New York, that's not your ideal person. So you want to think about location, service areas, how far out, if you are independently owned and you don't have any territory restrictions, how far out are you going to provide services when it comes down to location? Then you want to think about care needs. And this is something that should be discovered even prior to you going out and doing the needs assessment, or your team member doing the needs assessment. So when that phone rings, if you're not the one answering the phone, you want to make sure you're training your staff and that they know the pertinent questions to ask when they're on a call with a prospective client or family. So if you're non-medical home care services, that means you're providing companion care, homemaker service, sitter, or personal care. You might be in a state where you're allowed to provide skilled nursing services, but you want to make sure that whatever their care needs are, they are in harmony with the services that you can provide. So if you have someone that's in need of hospice care, or they're looking for home health care, skilled services, and they're in need of physical therapy or occupational therapy, this is someone that you're going to want to do a little bit more digging with. There might be an opportunity for you to work with them, and there's probably some needs for home care, but immediately off the top of that conversation, if this is what they're saying they need, you're not going to be able to provide immediate care to this individual. So you want to make sure that you're identifying the care needs that you are able to provide. You have a good understanding of what those care needs are, so that when you're out talking to families and talking to professionals, you or your team member that's supporting you or going out and doing the marketing, they can clearly articulate that. Because there's nothing more frustrating for you as a business owner, or for the families and the clients to think, okay, great, we found an agency, just to find out that you all are not a match, okay? That's very frustrating, doesn't make you look very reliable, and you don't want that. So make sure that you are identifying, okay, who that client is in specific detail. You also want to identify the payer source available. So if you are a private pay agency and you're not currently Medicaid certified, you're not engaging in any kind of Medicare Advantage contracts which at this time they're very minimal contracts available, or if this individual is looking to exclusively use a veteran benefit that is not VA aid in attendance, then those might not be individuals that you can provide service to immediately. So you want to make sure within your strategy, you are pinpointing individuals that fall under that private pay model. So just to recap, private pay, that's your cash, check, credit card, long-term care insurance. Veteran benefits, aid, and attendance is considered under the private pay model because there's no certification required for your business to accept that, okay? So those are all things considered private pay. Workers' comp. There are some workers' comp providers that will hire on home care agencies to provide services to their injured clients. And again, that is not anything that you necessarily have to go through a certification like Medicaid to be a provider for. So those are all your private pay. So you want to make sure that you know the payer sources, you have a good understanding of how they work. If you are Medicaid approved, if you're participating in a Medicaid waiver program, for example, here in Georgia, we have straight Medicaid, and then we have several Medicaid waiver programs. I want to say we have anywhere from 3 to 4 Medicaid waiver programs, and each of them require you to sign up individually as a provider and for the client to sign up individually as a member as well. So those are all things that you want to know when you're developing your marketing strategy. You don't want to waste time talking to people, and this may sound negative, but this is business. You don't want to waste your time talking to individuals that you cannot immediately serve. Okay, if you're looking to grow your business, again, we're using key terms strategic, meaning we're taking time to plan and develop. We're being very intentional about what we're doing. So make sure you identify your payer sources available. You also want to think about the financial status of the client. When you are creating a sales and marketing plan, if you are looking for private pay models, there are certain areas that you will want to pinpoint and go. There are certain areas you may not frequent often. So if there are senior living apartments that perhaps are 55 plus, but they are prorated or subsidized housing, that might not be your ideal place to go for a private pay client. And that's not to say you don't go there, introduce yourself, and create a presence, but if they're on subsidized programs, 9 times out of 10, their budget is very minimal and their finances are very, very tight, and they're probably more along the lines of Medicaid. So if you are a Medicaid provider, that's exactly where you want to go. But if you're looking for that private pay clientele, you're probably going to sway more along the lines of your higher scale senior living communities. So your independent living communities, for example, your Brookdale Senior Living, Sunrise, those are pretty big national chains. Those are already private pay. Those individuals pay anywhere from $3,000 plus per month. So they have access to a stronger financial status. So you want to make sure you understand that and go in the right direction based on what you can receive as reimbursement. One of the things final thing you want to do as well is develop your service costs based on your city, state median. So this may take a little strategy. I have in the corner here, Genworth Long-Term Care Cost Calculator. You can cut and paste that, or we can give that to you at the end of the presentation. But that gives you some information as far as what costs are looking like in your particular city and state. It's not a definitive, it's not all inclusive. It gives you an idea. So sometimes a little mystery shopping and trying to learn what others are paying in your area may be part of your market research. But you want to make sure you identify what the cost looks like and you develop a cost structure that is compatible. And when you're developing that cost structure, you want to make sure that you are not on the low end. And this is something that a lot of agencies, especially newer agencies or those that are struggling, they feel that, well, if I just reduce my my rates, I'll be able to obtain a lot of clientele. And I can tell you, it's not always the money as to why people may say no. It's not always the money as to why you're not able to receive new clientele, okay? So remember, even if you're running a nonprofit agency, you're still running a business. You still need to make profit because you need to maintain the business. So you have to find a good balance between the desperation of wanting clients, the heart of the matter, and then just straight business. So think about that when you are identifying your price range. You really want to be in the middle, but on the upper end of that median with your price point. That's a really good place to be. So as your research comes to completion with your local market area, this again is going to help you develop a full cohesive plan. So that plan is something that you as the business owner will implement. That plan is something that needs to be educated to anyone that's going out and talking to professional referral sources, talking to potential clients, families. I even encourage providing a measure of sales and marketing training to your caregiver staff. Although they may not be directly responsible for going out and marketing to the individuals on a regular basis, they're still out there, especially when we get to the part about client referrals. It's extremely important that your caregivers can at least provide referral sources with basic information, and then you guide them and train them on what they are permitted to answer, what needs to be forwarded to the agency for you all to handle. But it's definitely all hands on deck concept. Regardless of the stage of your business, it always needs to be all hands on deck when it comes to the sales and marketing. Because if you grow as a business owner, your agency grows, that gives more opportunity for your staff. That was always a concept that I used with my team. If I'm growing and I'm doing well, I'm going to make sure you're taken care of as well. So all hands on deck concept, okay? So now we're going to go ahead to our second crucial point, okay? So we talked about complete your research and plan for implementation. Excuse me, I want to make sure I stay with the slide. So that, again, we talked about planning for implementation, just getting out there and getting it done. So you want to make sure that you're monitoring KPIs, which is your key point indicators. Those are going to help you with accountability. And if you have questions as to what those look like, we can talk about that in more detail. What you can set up either for an employee, a contractor, or even for yourself. All right, number 2, identifying key professional referral sources and how to market to them. So we've developed a plan. We have an idea of who we're serving, where we're serving, how much we're going to serve. We have all of that figured out. We have a rough draft as to where we need to go and look for these potential individuals and these referral sources, okay? So we want to make sure now that as we've developed the plan, we need to now develop part 2 of this plan, and that's identifying the referral sources. So I split the list up into 2. So there's traditional referral sources commonly seen in this industry in home care, and then the next slide we'll go over non-traditional. That's not an industry term, it's my term. You can label it as you wish. But basically what I wanted to do is let you all see what standard referrals are looking like. Give me 1 second, you all. Looks like I have some people here that might be trying to, okay. All right, give me 1 second. We're going to pause here. Okay, so let's go over our traditional referral sources. So we're looking at senior living communities, and again, we're talking along the lines of private pay models. So independent living communities are ideal. Assisted living communities are ideal. They are ideal, and they're what I call low-hanging fruit, because in independent living, it is simply an apartment that is handicap accessible. Some independent living communities will have emergency staff either on call or emergency staff there in the community, and that is usually the form of a manager. No one clinical is in the community. There's no one at all that is clinical working in that community. So any care needs that the resident has, they will have to go out and find services. So they're going to have to find home care services and home health services and hospice and things of that nature. It's not provided in the community. Independent living is cheaper than assisted living, obviously so, because there's no care components. So a lot of times seniors would love to stay in that independent living community for as long as possible. It's cost effective. So if care needs come up, whether it's companion care or personal care, it's more financially feasible for them to have home care, such as yourselves, go out, provide the care while they're still living in independent living. Okay? Assisted living, very similar concept, except in assisted living now, more assisted livings are leaning towards having nurses lead their resident care and wellness department. So oftentimes you'll see either an LPN or an RN that kind of oversees the resident care components, but there are still some communities that do not have nurses, but they have resident care assistants. So they might be a CNA, they might not be a CNA. A lot of times those resident care assistants are trained on the job, or they have previous experience working in assisted living. The care that's received ranges. There are some assisted livings that provide, again, very minimal care and oversight. Then there are assisted livings that provide a little bit more hands-on care and support. They help with medication assistance, and some communities will even help with medication administration if they have the right licensed staff. So in general, assisted living is just that. It's assistance with their activities of daily living. It's not like living in a skilled nursing or long-term care setting where kind of anything goes when it comes down to the complexity of care. So you're not going to find staff at the assisted living starting IVs or hanging infusion therapies or TPN or anything critical like that. If the person has a colostomy or things of that nature, some communities will allow their caregiver staff to change the bag. Those are CNA tasks if this individual is a CNA. Otherwise, the resident is responsible for managing all of those tasks. So if they have poor health, they're medically compromised, they're going to need someone to come in and provide those basic services that cross over outside of the realms of senior living. But they might be acceptable for CNAs, and they might be acceptable within your state for you to be able to provide support with. So assisted living, independent living are great. We have another concept called continuous care retirement communities. And what that is your independent living, assisted living. Oftentimes you'll have memory care, and then you'll have skilled nursing. So what it allows that senior to do is to age in place in one location. CCRCs are costly. So those residents that are in a continuous care retirement community, they have already proven they have access financially. They are able to pay for their care, whether it's through money, through assets that they can sell. They have access, because most CCRCs will require you to go through a financial assessment to make sure that once you move into the community, you can stay. So you already now know that this person qualifies financially. So if there's a need, you want to make sure that you present yourselves there, okay? Then we have skilled nursing facilities, also sometimes referred to as inpatient rehab. Your skilled nursing facilities, your person's just getting out of the hospital, they're coming into the SNF, they're doing rehab. It could be a fall, it could be any kind of illness, a surgery. They need some strength training, some rehabilitation on whatever level. It could be speech, occupational. They're there for a short amount of time. They're not permanently there. But as you and I both know, typically these people are discharged early. We already know they're discharged early from the hospital. It's usually very similar concept with skilled nursing. Medicare is going to determine how long they're going to be able to stay based on their numerical system that they manage on their back end. And that doesn't always take a very human approach. That doesn't always mean that this individual is ready to go home. So usually there's still a care deficit once they're discharged from skilled nursing. So that's a great place for you to go and market your business. Outpatient rehab facilities, same concept. Oftentimes people are discharged from the skilled nursing inpatient setting and they continue their therapies either through home health therapy or outpatient centers like Benchmark is a key center that handles outpatient rehab. So those are great places again to market your business. They may have someone there, they're a high fall risk, or as they're getting to know this individual and learning more about their care needs, they see other care deficits that they can make a referral to your agency. So you want to make sure that you're marketing there and you're letting people know that you're there. Adult day centers are great. Adult day centers are very similar to children daycare centers. They're open typically Monday through Friday, business hours anywhere from 7:30 to 5:30, and usually closed on the holidays, okay? So they very much so follow that banking hours is what I call it, that Monday through Friday routine. And only a set block of time are they available. So there's still, again, some deficits of care, maybe in the mornings, getting this individual up and ready to go to adult daycare. Maybe they need assistance with transportation. They need a caregiver to take them to the adult daycare, make sure they get settled before they leave. There might be deficits in care in the evening after the adult day has closed. Maybe the family needs support with someone picking up their loved one, taking them home, making sure they get settled for the evening. So adult day is a good component of the day is covered service-wise, but there's still areas where that senior can need some support. So you want to partner with adult daycare centers and let them know that you're available to provide care in the morning, in the evening, if the family needs oversight on the weekends when that adult day center is closed, then you'll be able to fill that gap for them. Home health agencies, skilled services, if you do not provide skilled services under your private duty licensure, then that's a great partnership to develop with home health agencies because then, again, I'm going to use that word, deficit of care. Medicare is dictating how many hours home health agencies are going to be in, how often, how many days, what's the duration of full service. Usually there's still a need. So if a home health patient is only receiving a home health aide to visit once a week at 2 hours, who's helping them the rest of the time with their activities of daily living? You know, I like to shower more than once a week. I'm sure you like to shower more than once a week. It's the same thing with the clients. Who's helping them? So those are great relationships to develop. You have hospitals, very common reason they're getting out of the hospital. If they go straight home, which is typically uncommon for seniors, but if they do go straight home, you definitely want to make sure you're connecting with that case manager and letting them know that you're available. Then you have long-term acute care facilities, which are step-down units from the hospital. So they still provide that critical level of care. A lot of them provide vent therapy, and individuals then either they may go to a skilled nursing facility, or they might go home. So again, great place to refer. Hospice, physicians, durable medical equipment, geriatric care managers. The Veterans Administration is a great place to go. Workers' compensation providers, great place to connect yourself with. Again, as I mentioned earlier, if they have a client that has injured themselves on the job, that company contracts with that particular workers' compensation provider, they may need to coordinate care. Those case managers may need to coordinate care, and home care might be a service. So if you're interested in getting into that space, what I recommend you do is locate the workers' compensation providers that service your state. And you let them know, go through that inquiry process and find out what is required. But usually with workers' comp, there are multiple managed care type of organizations there. So that's a great place to market your business. And then the area agency on aging, that's another good area to market your business. Oftentimes, they do work with Medicaid providers exclusively. I know here in Georgia, they work very frequently with the Medicaid waiver program, and that's one of the requirements. So it might be different in your state, but it's definitely worth taking a look at. Sometimes they might not provide you with a direct referral, but they may have other opportunities, maybe a directory or a website where you'll be able to put your information, and families and other professionals can then find you. So now we're talking about non-traditional referral sources, and those are your bank trust officers, your wealth managers, your elder law attorneys, realtors, pharmacists, professional networking groups. If you are in an area where they have senior networking opportunities, maybe they meet every month, a particular day of the week each month. Those are great areas to go and meet other professionals in the industry. Also, just professional business networking associations. I don't recommend joining a whole bunch of them. So you want to source any association network that you're looking to join and make sure it's going to be a good use of your time. But usually in those professional business networking, oftentimes it's the participants that are there that might need service for their loved ones, or they may know someone. Again, associations are a great place to look. There's Home Care Association of America. They have branches within different states. You can absolutely go there. Sometimes professionals and maybe family members as well will look and check out their directory. And as part of the membership for these associations, oftentimes they will let you, under your membership, have a measure of advertising that's connected with them. So not only is it a good way to get referrals, but it also looks nice when you're talking about associations that your business is connected with. Then you have churches and transportation companies as well. So again, this is not an all-inclusive list. This is just a really good firm foundation for you to kind of get an idea of who you can talk to. And as you see, the list can continue to go on. You can go to the grocery store, see someone in a wheelchair that may be struggling, and you can politely and tactfully offer your card or offer the card to the family if they're with them. So there really is no limitation as to who you can talk to. You just want to make sure, especially when we're talking about the professional referral sources, that you have a good idea as to who they are and what to say. So now we're going to start talking about ways to market your business to these individuals, okay? Let's go back to the slide. Okay, so what I want to do, I don't want to go to the next slide yet. When you're marketing your business, okay, A lot of times we feel, well, if I just could get in to these locations and if I could just tell them how amazing my services are, how amazing my staff is, immediately they will want to give me referrals. And I can tell you now that that is not the case. Okay. Think about when you are purchasing something. When you are purchasing a car, do you really care how amazing the car dealership is in the matter of, we donate to charities, we have a great attendance record for our staff? You probably could care less. You have a need and you want someone that is knowledgeable about that need and that can support you in the most efficient manner. So when you're talking to these professional referral sources, it's the same concept. Do they want to know that you have trained, good, reliable staff? Yes, they do. That is important because we are in the healthcare industry. So they do want to know that you have good, quality staff. But that is not what is on their mind. What's on their mind is, if I work with you, what's in it for me? What do I get out of this relationship? How do you support me in my current role? I'm a case manager at a hospital. I get several discharges every day. How are you going to help me manage that? That is what your professional referral is thinking about. And those are things that I call pain points. Those are their pain points. Those are the hot buttons. Those are the things that are going to get them listening. You're going to grab their attention if you start saying the right things, okay? So your goal as a home care owner, as the marketing director, whoever you may be, you want to connect on a human level with these individuals. And you want to become a trusted advisor. You want to become a trusted advisor. So before you go out and you start talking about how wonderful your agency is, do a little homework. Do some homework on these companies. Okay, go online, look at their website, learn about who they are. And I'm not saying study it for hours and make it a school assignment, but take a look and see. If you're going to a doctor's office, find out what they specialize in. Learn a little bit about the organization you are looking to engage with. Check out their social media. See if they have a social media business page. Go on LinkedIn. We're going to talk about LinkedIn in a little bit. Go on LinkedIn and see if you can do a little research. You can do a search. You can type in the name of that establishment, and you can see who works there, if they have that listed on their profile. If it's someone you're already connected to, that's great. That's a warm connection for you going in and doing that initial contact. But do a little research before you go in. That's going to really help you engage in conversation and really uncover what those pain points are and really uncover what those needs are so that you can develop proper talking points. When you're talking to these individuals, you can truly engage with them on a deep level. You want to make sure that they understand that you understand them, okay? When you're going, one tip, and I have to put this in here, when you're going to these professional places and they serve your ideal clientele, make sure you're knowledgeable enough about what they do. Use the right language. That makes you look like someone that understands and knows the industry. So, for example, in senior living communities, seniors that live there are called residents. They're not called patients. I used to work for senior living. And when I would have individuals come in and they would talk about my residents and they would say, yeah, your patients. And all I could think was, bless their heart, bless your heart. And that's not a good thing in Georgia. Bless your heart usually means because now I know that you don't clearly understand this industry. Just from that little use of patient versus resident, you are not familiar with this industry. So just know that something as simple as patient versus resident, resident versus patient in your vocabulary in different settings make a difference as far as how they view you. Okay. So now let's go ahead. We've talked about identifying pain points. We're going to use those pain points in our talking plan. Okay. When we're talking and initially meeting people, we want to make sure we know what their pain points are. Learning those pain points don't come from exclusively the website or the social media or a phone call. It means person-to-person engagement. So we've gone over developing a marketing plan and strategy. We know some of the things that we need to develop within that strategy. We have a good foundation as to where you need to go to your traditional referral sources, your non-traditional referral sources. Basically, the sky is the limit. Where there are seniors, you may talk. So we've identified all of that. So now we have clients coming in. We're happy. We're making money. Clients are coming in. This is awesome. But we want to continue. We don't want to rest on our laurels. We want to continue to make sure we have clients continuing to come in. One of the best ways that you can continuously have referrals to come in is through word of mouth referrals from your clients. If you take amazing care of your clients and you help that family has been dealing with Mama June and she's trying to run out of the house and go to the store and she's just confused, but we want to keep Mama home. And here you come and you provide this caregiver and she's just so good with Mama. She just takes such good care of her. We love her. You don't want this caregiver to ever go anywhere. You have struggled. This family is going to go and talk about your caregiver to anyone that listens. Oh, I had such a good night's rest last night. That caregiver from the agency came and she just helped us so much with Mama. It was so wonderful. And so in those conversations, she's going to be talking to her peers. And if they're her peers, they're going to have parents and other relatives around the same age as her mother or father. So they're going to say, well, I need care as well. Who's this agency? Who are they? Because my father, he won't take his medicine. He won't eat. He won't do this. He won't do that. I need help. Let me give you their phone number. They're wonderful. Tell them I said to call you. That is not a far-fetched hypothetical experience. That is very realistic. That is very realistic. Okay? Taking phenomenal care. And when you think about taking good care of your clients, it's really about providing the basics, taking it a step further. But if you think about what you do, it's not always magic. It's not always rocket science. People just want you to live up to your promise. If you promise that you're going to have a caregiver there from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, then that's what you do. That's what you do. You have a caregiver there from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, just like they asked. If you do anything extra over what they requested, it's usually so appreciated. It's so appreciated. They absolutely appreciate your service. So it's not hard at all to provide phenomenal care. It's just a matter of making it a priority, being consistent with providing care, training your staff to understand the importance of providing care. It is not just about that one client. It's about that caregiver. And most of all, it's about your agency. It's about the reputation of your agency, okay? So you want to make sure you're spending time creating processes that will allow you to get those word of mouth referrals from your clients. So this is how you can increase those client generated word of mouth referrals. First thing you want to do, real simple, ask for them. Ask for them, very simple. Each business should have a quality assurance process. So you should be calling or writing or visiting or a combination of all of those things on a regular basis. And in some states, they're called supervisory visits or whatever the case may be, but some companies take it a step above. Supervisory visit, it covers satisfaction with service, but it's also a reassessment period to see if there's any change in condition. You really want to take it a step above. Just create a process that allows you to solely focus on the client experience. How do you appreciate the services that you provide? Do you feel they're up to proper standard? And that's just not the caregiver, the entire experience. When they call the agency, is someone picking up the phone at all times? Whoever's picking up the phone, are they polite? Are they utilizing good customer service? Are they getting their bills on time so that they can keep a track of their budget in a timely manner? If they do have a grievance, are you handling those things in a timely manner? All of those things fall under that quality assurance. All of those things can change whether a client wants to give you a referral or not. So whatever your process is, even if right now you don't have one, you're just doing the supervisory visits, while you're there and while you are discussing if they're pleased with their services, if it's a yes, ask them, can you please, Miss Jones, if you know of anyone in your circle, maybe at your church or at your bridge games, if they need care, we'll be more than happy. The best way you can say thank you to me is by sharing our number with someone in need. So just ask them for it, but you need to make it easy for them, okay? Don't make them do work. Don't turn them into a sales and marketing professional. Make it easy. So number 2, develop a client referral program. If you do not have one already, this is something that I really suggest that you do. It does not have to be anything fancy. It doesn't have to be highly cost. Just something simple. It could be a $10 gift card. It could be credit towards care that they're going to receive at a later date. Whatever kind of modest form of appreciation that you feel is appropriate, go for it. Absolutely go for it. Let them know that we appreciate you and we want to say thank you in a big way if you give us a referral, because we appreciate that. And number 3, you want to make sure that you're managing your reputation and online service reviews. We are in the day and age of online. We're getting ready. Slide number 4, point number 4, we're going to be talking about online presence. And as you know, people love to go online. They love to leave reviews, especially if they're angry. They want everybody to know. They're putting it on Google, care.com, wherever there's a place for them to write a review. They're doing it. They're writing negative reviews. So it is your responsibility as business owners to manage your reputation and your online reviews. I can't say you're never going to get a negative review. Sometimes it doesn't even come from the family. Sometimes it comes from a disgruntled employee trying to make you look like a bad agency. Okay. So you want to make sure that you're managing yourself. You're managing your agency. If you do receive reviews that are negative, make sure that you're responding to them in a professional manner. They're there. The footprint is there. You can't erase them. They're just there. But you can do some damage control. Okay. That's very important when you're thinking about your client generated referrals, because families they look online. I know very tech savvy seniors. I had seniors call my agency for their spouse, for themselves, and they're like, we found you online. Don't think because someone's 80 years old, they don't have a laptop, they're very tech savvy. So let's go ahead now and talk about your strategy for online presence on social media. So we're going to go ahead and get through this information to make sure we end timely for you all. So we're going to talk about social media, your online presence, social media, websites, blogs, articles, email marketing, all ways that you can develop and build your business. It's very important that you do have an online presence, okay? And it's also important for you to understand how your marketing strategy needs to be developed and implemented on each platform. So some platforms might be more professionally inclined. You might be talking more to that professional individual than certain other platforms. So it's very important to know how to post, where to post, how often to post. So we're going to start with good old Facebook, where I think we all connected from. Facebook has 2.4 and probably growing billion active monthly users. That's wild. That's a lot of people. From across the globe, you are able to connect and reach people on Facebook. So let's talk about some of the high points and some of the amenities that Facebook provides. I'm sure you guys already know, but we're going to review. So you have the ability to create a personal page. You have the ability to create a business page. Okay, you have the ability to create a group. You can event share. You found out about this training from my group and I posted an event in that group. So you can do the same thing. You can go live on Facebook. You can do that from a business page. You can do that from a personal page. You can go live in a group. And then you have the option to invest in Facebook ads. And those are things that you pay. And I really recommend individuals to have a strategy before you spend money, because paying for online ads, especially on Facebook, can become extremely expensive and you might not get the return on investment in the way you want to. So make sure you have a really good strategy. You're working with someone very knowledgeable in that space when it comes down to creating ads. There are self-proclaimed gurus out there. Make sure if you do work with someone that they clearly understand and know your industry. You will find a lot of companies that try to bamboozle individuals and say, oh yeah, we can help you with any business, and they have no clue what the needs are for senior care professionals. So make sure you have someone, if you're going to go that route, that understands and knows how to strategically set that up. And although we don't do that at Care Assurance, we do have that professional within our referral database. So if you would like a referral, we're more than happy to provide that for you. But back to Facebook. What Facebook provides you is that community-like feeling. You can go in groups, you can talk back and forth, you can go live, you can have multiple people at one time go live. It really allows you to have that community feel. So how you can use Facebook for your home care business: it allows you to share articles and content about your business. You can do that on your business page and or your personal page. And I really recommend using both and cross promoting your content on your personal page and on your business page, because you are your business's brand. You are the owner. When people see you, they see your brand, they see your business. So there's nothing wrong with posting on your personal page about your business. You can also share other pertinent care-related tips. A lot of times I see a lot of posts coming up. It's hot about dehydration with seniors, the importance of drinking, a lot of dementia care posts. If you follow me, I post a lot of content as well in regards to different topics. You can do the same thing pertaining to your business. You can go on, you can like other business pages, you can engage with those professionals as well. You can take it a step up on your business page. You can post jobs. So if you're hiring for caregivers, you can actually post for free there on Facebook and engage with people. You can post events. So if you're having an open house or if you're having a job fair, you can absolutely post those things on Facebook and you can post it for free. So I don't know how long it'll be free, but it's definitely a benefit and tool that you can use. So a pitfall for Facebook, again, is the Facebook ads. They can become expensive and you may see a minimal return on your investment. Another downfall is Facebook is very much so a social platform versus a platform that's often used for care referrals. If I'm thinking about care for my loved one, I'm probably not going to think about Facebook being the first option that I'm going to search, unless I saw something that caught my eye. So that's why I'm not saying don't go in that direction. But if I'm not a big social media user, maybe I'm on Facebook once a month or less, that's not going to be my ideal place to go and look for care because it's very social. When you are on social media, on Facebook in particular, you're not thinking about those things very often. It's usually a very casual environment. So those are some of the pitfalls with Facebook. Social media site number 2, we have Instagram. Instagram, which I actually just recently learned, is a service ran by Facebook. So they have 1 billion active users monthly, so that's pretty awesome. It's a great way to share pictures and text. So I'm sure you guys have all been on Instagram. It's a lot more isolated than Facebook. There's no groups, there's none of that, but it allows you to be able to share your company's graphics or pictures and create text that you can put under those pictures and share out. So if you're having a business event or if you want to highlight your business, I see a lot of companies, again, they share articles about care needs, or they will feature and highlight their staff. We have Employee of the Month and we're excited about that. That's an option for you as well. One of the key features with Instagram is hashtags. So when you're posting, and if you want to make sure you're getting in front of the right audience, you want to make sure you're using the right hashtags. So you want to hashtag senior care, hashtag home care, hashtag elder care, hashtag your business name to get that starting as a trend. With Instagram, not only can you do a search for hashtags, you can follow hashtags. So there are different hashtags that I follow. Some people may want to follow home care or elder care hashtags so that they are able to see more of those posts that utilize that hashtag. So if you do decide to use Instagram, make sure you take some time and you develop some good hashtags that pertain to your business. You don't want to get carried away and have a million hashtags, but just some key hashtags in general, like the ones I listed off, which again, I'll repeat for you: senior care, home care, elder care, and then of course, your business name. You want to go ahead and have those hashtags available as well. You have the option of going live. You can do IGTV, and you have the ability of paying for Instagram ads as well. So some of the pitfalls with Instagram, as I mentioned briefly, it's that reduced ability to fully engage like you can on Facebook. So you can engage under the comment section of your post or someone else's post. Again, you have the hashtag feature, you can tag people, but the engagement as far as a comparison to Facebook is very different. And another area is likes. So your likes and your engagement, they fluctuate. So if you're not, if you're on and you're doing a lot of posting, you're hashtagging, you're getting people to follow you, great. They'll, follow you and want you to follow them back. As soon as you die off from posting, if you are not consistent with posting, you can have 1,000 likes and then come back and you have 100. They're just gone. So that's the only thing. And some people get hung up on the likes. Some people want to buy likes to make their page look a certain way. I know Instagram is now cracking down on that. So don't spend your money on buying likes to make your Instagram page look a certain way. You want organic, real engagement with people that you can either collaborate with in business, provide care to, give a referral to. You want some kind of authentic relationship, okay? So that is Instagram. Now we have LinkedIn, and LinkedIn is my all-time favorite platform. Number one, best platform for businesses. So you have over 500 million members across the globe that are on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a free platform. There are paid options, but not necessary. They're not necessary at all, but they're available. So if you're a recruiter or you are really strong in your sales and marketing, you want to rev it up a little bit, paid options may be something to look at, but just to start, the free options are perfect. LinkedIn is a professional platform, professional networking platform. People are capable of making decisions for their organization that they represent, whether it's their business, or you can find yourself connected to a CEO, COO, CFO, director of nursing, you name it. Those professionals are all on LinkedIn. So some of the highlights. Again, it's a free platform. It gives you, number two, the ability to really customize your connection search. So you can search for people. Let's say you're new to LinkedIn, you've made your profile, and now you're ready to meet people. LinkedIn will make suggestions based on your contacts. So if you link your email that you made that LinkedIn post with, they may pull from people on your contact list that already have a LinkedIn profile, and they'll suggest that person as a connection for you. Or you can search for people. So you can search for people by state, city, by job title. So admissions coordinator, director of nursing, case manager, care manager. You can type in the company name. If you're not sure of the name, you can type in keyword searches. So you can type in assisted living, independent living, and they'll pull up based on the location that you entered as well. So you can be very strategic about who you want to connect with and talk to. And you want to be able to do that because, again, it's all about marketing your home care business, making human connections, talking with people, letting them know that you exist, that your business exists. So use those connections. LinkedIn is a great way if you are someone that is just starting their business and you're still working a job and you don't know how to get out there and market. You can't market Monday through Friday all day, every day because you're still working. I get that. LinkedIn is a great way for you to supplement your person-to-person marketing because you can make those connections with decision makers. And then when you have availability, you can set up a time for a call. Maybe you can set up a time for coffee. You have more strategic control. But if you're not able to go out and market, I definitely recommend utilizing LinkedIn to really help you build those relationships with professionals. So as a reminder, it's a professional network. They do have groups. There are groups. You have your personal profile that you can create. You have a business page that you can create. You can go live. All of those things are for free. LinkedIn does have a paid ad option. Again, not needed. I have nearly 7,000 very high quality connections on my LinkedIn. And only recently, because I'm starting a new marketing campaign for my business, only recently did I add the paid service. And I can tell you, I don't see much difference in connection requests than when I was free. And I built all of those. I probably added about 50 to 60 professionals since I've gone to the paid subscription. So prior to that, all 6,000 individuals came from the free subscription. So it's very doable. Another nice thing about LinkedIn is you can write articles. If you're someone you enjoy writing, you want to share an article, you can do that. You can share a post, create a post. Again, you can go live. Sky's the limit when it comes to LinkedIn. So it's very similar to Facebook in those capacities, but it's very much so a professional site. So it's not a place to go and post our casual selfies. It's not a place to go to have political and religious debates. It's truly a professional setting, okay? So some of the pitfalls that come with LinkedIn: if you're not consistent with engagement, you're not going to build your community on LinkedIn, and then it's going to feel like a waste of time. It's going to feel like you're in a room by yourself. You are not going to get a lot of posts showing up on your feed. It's just going to be very quiet, and it's going to seem boring, and you're not going to want to engage. So you want to take some time and finesse your LinkedIn profile, develop it, get out there and talk with people. All right, next we're going to talk about Twitter. Over 300 million users monthly. Twitter is a very unique platform. It's not a platform that I engage in often, but it's definitely an option for home care providers. There are many home care providers that are on Twitter. Twitter is usually what I call an on-the-go type of service, often used on your mobile device, but you can log in to your back end on Twitter and make posts, and you can tweet and retweet and all of those things. So you can absolutely do that on either device. Twitter is what really jump-started this hashtag phenomenon. So like Instagram, probably even more, hashtags are extremely important and beneficial to exposure to your content. So you want to make sure that you're utilizing your hashtags. Twitter is best used if you want to put a little blurb. Let's say you have a new blog that you have developed from your website. It's on your website now. You want to tell people, hey, awesome blog about dementia care, come visit. Putting that little quick sentence or two, sharing the link, hashtagging, maybe a graphic, that's it. You have very limited word count on Twitter. So it's not like Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram where you can write. Very, very limited text. So it's always great to have a link. If there's something that you want people to see, put the link there where they can click it, whether it's to your website or to an article, they can click it and go. But again, the key is hashtags. You want to make sure that you're using hashtags, connect with other professionals, retweet things that are pertinent to them. People will retweet, they will retweet your content, which is great because it adds exposure to their audience as well. So it just kind of passes through the masses like that. So Twitter is definitely an option to utilize. One of the pitfalls, there's no groups, there's not a lot of opportunity to create that community feel like you would have on Facebook and LinkedIn. And consistency, again, is the key in making sure you're posting with those correct hashtags that are going to be attractive. Twitter can take a little bit of time to develop as well. So that's another area. We have Pinterest. I'm going to share briefly about Pinterest. That again, I'm sure if you're not familiar with it, it's a place that is kind of visual. It's a visual engagement location. So you'll see a lot of pictures there. It's a place I like to go when I'm winding down for the day and I daydream about my dream house, how I want to decorate it. That's how I use Pinterest. There are business platforms. There are some people that are in the senior care industry that will post. Maybe it gives a link to an ebook or a meme or some kind of encouragement. Those are things you see occasionally on Pinterest, but it's not one of the best platforms when you're thinking about building your business and getting out there in front of either professional referrals or families or the senior themselves. Pinterest is probably not the top option, so that wouldn't be my very first platform I would recommend using. So now we're going to go to YouTube, 1 billion users. Video, I don't even need to explain it. You already know. It's a great place if you're really looking to position yourself as that trusted advisor and you're not camera shy. It's a great place to go and do maybe a 5-minute video on care. There's so many topics we can talk about in regards to care for the senior, care for the family member that's the full-time caregiver, staffing tips as you grow and develop in your business and you learn things. The sky is truly the limit. So if you really want to get out there, again, you're not camera shy, you're looking to talk to people and engage and connect, YouTube's a great way to be able to do that. One of the things with YouTube, you may need a camera that can record, or at least a good quality cell phone that will allow you to be able to record. But other than that, it's fairly simple to utilize. Now let's go ahead. We're going to talk briefly about your website. So your website is important. It's very important, but it does not need to cost you thousands of dollars to create. Your website needs to follow these 3 areas right here. Number 1, it needs to be easy to navigate. When I come on a website, the worst, most frustrating thing is to get on a website and I have no idea what I'm looking at. There's fireworks in one corner, there's a picture over here, there's a video in the middle, there's something popping up from the other bottom corner. It's too much. It's not easy to navigate. It's like overstimulation. So I tend to close the page. And people may feel the same way. So you want a website that's very clean, crisp, easy to navigate. If I'm looking for care, number 2, you want to make sure you clearly define services and payer sources. So I want to be able to see immediately when I come onto ABC Home Care, I want to be able to see keywords like companion care, personal care, 24-hour care, whatever services that you offer, I need to see that on the homepage before I even go to about us, service description, whatever. I need to see that. In addition to that, every page should have a call to action. And what that call to action is, what call to action means, it's an instruction to do something next. So I've come to your page, I've looked at your homepage, I've scrolled through a couple pages. How do I call you? That's your call to action. So whether it's a pop-up that says, may I help you, which a lot of websites have, or your office number or contact number or email, social media, whatever, is accessible on every page. Because this person may come to your website and they're unsure. I don't know. Looks appealing, but I'm not sure. And so they're looking at your information, they're reading, and you're drawing them in. You're drawing them in. You wrote a really good blog about caregiver burnout, and they can really relate to that. And by the end of this now, tears are rolling down their face. They're tired. They're overwhelmed. And they realize, what, I need to take action right now. I just need to go ahead and reach out to these people. You want to make sure that call to action is right there. That button to send an email or a contact form or that telephone number, it's right there. Don't have them searching through all the pages. Like, I think I saw the phone number. I can't remember. Was it the home page, the contact us page, the about us page? Where was it? Because guess what? All that warm emotional mush that was driving them to go ahead and make that decision. Now they're frustrated because they can't remember where they saw your phone number. So make it easy. Make that call to action easy for them. Make it real simple. And that's it. Your website, you want to make sure you have, there's SEO, if you're familiar with search engine optimization, keywords that can help you be bumped up to Google organically. That's a totally different masterclass for a different day, but these three basics on a minimum, if you can meet these three objectives, you're doing very well. Blogs and articles, we're going to talk briefly about blogs and articles. It's a great way, again, to educate your audience about your services, to give them tips. Maybe you're talking to the professional in one blog, maybe you're talking to the caregiver, the family caregiver in another blog. Sky's the limit, but you want to keep it professional. You want to keep it related to the industry. It could be something on wellness. It can be something on gut health. Again, caregiver burnout. It could be a host of different things. Changes in the Medicare Advantage program coming up. Share those things. Those things pertain to your clients. They want to know the news. They want to know that you know the news. That means you can really take care of them. So if you are not someone that can write blogs, that's not your thing, there are professionals out there that can support you with writing your blogs. A lot of companies like to look overseas for support with writing blogs and articles, and there's nothing wrong with that. It can be a cost-effective option, and many do very good work. You want to make sure whoever you select to do your blogs and articles, if you're not going to do it, that they are very proficient in the English language, they write very well, they use correct punctuation, all of that, because again, this is your brand. This is a marketing tool for your business. So if you have run-on sentences and your sentences start with a lowercase letter and there's no period or commas, that's not a good look. That's not a good look for your brand. That's not a good marketing approach. So just make sure whoever you utilize, you vet. But your blogs and articles are great ways to get your brand out there. And then you have email marketing. Email marketing, very similar like the blogs and the articles, allows you to be seen as a trusted advisor. You can get your content directly to the emails, addresses of the professional, of the family. If you do start email marketing, you want to make sure you divide your professionals from your families because your messages might be different. Some people email everyone all together. It's really up to you. That was just a suggestion for you. You want to be strategic and creative with the content and keep it simple. You know, no one wants to read 3, 4, 5-page newsletter. They're not going to read it. And if you keep sending things like that, they're not going to open it. So keep it one page, snapshot, very simple. Be creative with your subject line names to get them to open it. So email marketing is definitely not dead. It's something that's still working. But there are some pitfalls, and I'm going to share with you real quick. Some of the pitfalls include, number one, it takes time. You're developing that email list, so that's going to take you a little time to develop. And then on a professional platform, when you're sending emails to professionals, sometimes they have certain tech securities that will not allow certain domains to come in and send an email. So you might have drafted an amazing email and you're so excited about it, and then your person never received it. You go and look and it says bounced. Okay, so that's the pitfalls with email marketing. So now we're going to talk about common pitfalls overall to avoid in your home care agency. And this is Going to take us to the home stretch. So bear with me. I thank you all so much for your patience. One of the most common pitfalls that we see in home care is a lack of consistency in your marketing efforts. We have a very microwave business approach. We want to go out there for the first time. We want to talk to 2 or 3 people, and we want them to give us a client caseload of at least 25 per person. And that is just not reality. We are in an industry that really requires some patience, and that's why it's so important when you're thinking about even starting your business to really develop a sales and marketing plan in that beginning stage, because it's not always an immediate turnaround when you're looking at getting out there, talking with people. There are tons of competitors. I don't know of one city that has a lack of home care agencies. There are lots of competitors, which means they probably already have a relationship with someone. It might not be ideal, but it's a relationship with a home care provider. Number 2, they are obtaining visits upon visits upon visits upon visits, probably using poor strategy. So here you come, a new home care provider, and they're like, oh God, here I go again. I have to hear about how wonderful this agency is, blah, blah, blah. Oh my goodness. That's what they're thinking. Before you can even open your mouth and start engaging with them, they're already putting the words in your mouth. And so they turn you away. Or even worse, you don't even get past the gatekeeper. And so what that tends to do is cause individuals to be overwhelmed. And when they become overwhelmed, they get discouraged, and then we see that lack of consistency. Most people I talk to, I ask about their sales and marketing routine, and they will tell me, well, I go out sometimes. I go out sometimes, but not a lot. Okay? So you must be consistent. If you have the ability, you need to be making marketing efforts every day. If you cannot do every day, at least be consistent with what you can do. This is a very realistic masterclass. I'm not telling you go out there, hire a high expensive marketing director. Your business might not be there. If it is, they're great. Then that's a whole different conversation. But if you are driving the growth and development of your business, even if you can't get out there Monday through Friday, if you can get out there every Tuesday, Thursday, you make sure you have planned out to the T every hour on the hour what you will be doing. Make maximum use of that time and be consistent. If you do spot marketing, number 1, if you go to an assisted living and then 3 months later you go there, they're not going to remember you. It's a big chance that the person that you spoke to the first time might not even work there anymore. So you have to be consistent. You have to be consistent. As you're getting out there, you're going to develop what we call accounts. So as people start showing, hey, I'm interested, I think I'm going to go ahead and entertain you a little bit. Those are people that you want to see. It might be weekly, it might be bi-weekly, whatever the case may be, but you want to be consistent. So pitfall number 1 is lack of consistency. Pitfall number 2 is relying on one source, one marketing effort to generate your business. So, I'm on Facebook and I'm posting ABC Home Care. We're accepting clients. Call me. 770-555-1212. Call me. And nobody's calling me and I can't understand why. That's not reality. A strong marketing strategy and plan will involve various layers of marketing approach. That's why we went over the various ways that you can market your business in person and online, because you're going to need a mix of all of that. You want your clients to refer to you. You are going to rely on all of those areas to help you consistently bring in business. So pitfall number 2 is usually people rely on one source, one method. They don't want to get out of their comfort zone. Number 3, the Medicaid referral misconception. People also feel, our dear home care providers, that, well, if I sign up for Medicaid, they're going to send me a buttload of clients. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to be rich in like 2 months. It's awesome. That is not a reality. There are some Medicaid waiver programs and some other programs that will have referrals and they will call you and notify you. But if you are just exclusively holding on to Medicaid and you're not trying to build your private pay even just a little bit, your business is going to suffer. And I say that not because you cannot build a profitable business through Medicaid, but Medicaid can become a little flaky. It is not uncommon. I've had clients that signed up for Medicaid and they went 5-6 months before they received initial payment. So what happens? Your caregivers already provided that service. So guess what? If you pay biweekly, that's what you have to do. You can't tell this caregiver, well, I can't pay you because the client didn't pay. They don't care. They provided the service. So make sure that you have a variety of sources coming in. You're not just focused on that Medicaid referral. The hero method. The hero method means you are doing everything on your own. And sometimes you have to start that way. I started that way when I started my home care. I started that way in the very first year. We grew our business to 6 figures. It was gross. It wasn't net. But guess what? I still did it. And I initially started by running everything on my own. But quickly, as we grew, I transitioned and I delegated out tasks and I had an office coordinator. And then I had 3 marketers covering Northeast Ohio where I initially opened my business. I knew in order for me to be the best owner, I needed to delegate. I could not be the hero and do it all. And so that's going to be the same for you all. As you grow, you're going to have to let go. Okay, you're going to have to delegate out. So it may start with something as simple as a virtual assistant. Virtual assistant that manages, maybe certain areas of your social media, or they make appointments for you, or whatever the case may be, to lighten that load a little bit. And then you branch out more and more as your agency requires, as your finances allow. But do not think you're going to build a 7-figure business or high 6-figure, whatever your goal is, by doing everything on your own. You're not going to be able to do that. Number 5, fear of approaching private pay. A lot of people have fear of private pay. They don't feel that they are adequate enough, and that's so disconcerting, because whether a person is private pay or Medicaid, they should be receiving the same level of service. So if that is a mindset you struggle with, please work on that, because that's unfortunate. And I'm sure it's not even true. I'm sure your services and your team are good enough. It's a mindset thing, and the mind is very strong, and it can trip us up. Number 6, believing there is no private pay in your area. I cannot tell you how many times I hear that. Oh, nope, I don't have any private pay in my area. It's all Medicaid. All Medicaid. So I go and I look up that area, and I look up Brookdale Senior Living. And I reference Brookdale because they're one of the higher priced senior livings. Private pay. Guess what? There's a Brookdale in that area. I look up other home care companies. Guess what? They're there. Franchises, Home Instead, Senior Helpers. They're there. And I know most of them are private pay. So there are private pay. Stop telling yourself that there is no private pay. Telling yourself there is no private pay feeds into the previous statement of a fear of approaching private pay. They are there. Again, it goes back to your strategy. Number 7 is very important, and that is not being intentional. A lot of people will start, and I keep saying a lot of people, forgive me. A lot of agencies will start a business and they're excited about it, and they're going and they're staying up sleepless nights, and then before you know it, the zeal and the energy starts to die. I went out marketing once, I didn't get any clients, and I'm really not feeling the zeal to go back out again. And then before you know it, if they weren't working, they're updating their resume. I'm going back to work. This business isn't working. And then we start having all kinds of reasons as to why. Never the right reason. That they weren't being intentional, they weren't being focused, they weren't being strict, they didn't have a strategy. It's always something else. So if any of this resonates with where you are, this is a judgment-free zone, but if any of this resonates with where you are, you need to make a decision. Do you want a business, or do you want a very expensive hobby? Because that's your only choice. You're either going to run this as a business, you're going to grow with it, you're going to take the good and the bad, you're going to learn, you're going to invest in yourself, invest in your business. If you don't know how to do something, you're going to find someone that can help you do it. Learning, it's short. Okay, I don't know how to market. You're on this masterclass today. I hope you found some value in this masterclass, and I hope you were able to walk away and say, I have a good starting point of what I need to do within my business. So you took that first step to invest in yourself and your business. You're being intentional. There are a whole bunch of other people that said they were coming on tonight and they didn't. I'm not saying they're not intentional, but you're here, you're learning. And I will tell you in full transparency, I get a lot of people all hours of the night asking me, they're up late. Stress will make you send someone a Facebook message at 3 a.m. asking a question about home care. And that's what I get. Stressed home care owners. They don't want to invest. They don't want to get out of their comfort zone. They don't want to be intentional. But when the mood behooves them, they'll reach out. You can't do that. You have to be all in or not in at all. So not being intentional is a very common pitfall. And I hope you guys, if you're feeling you're in that way, reach out and we'll talk about it. Let me know. And last but not least is the insanity mode. And you may be wondering what the heck is that? And that is holding on to concepts, strategies, and everything else under the sun and wondering why they're not working, but not wanting to change them because you are married to this idea and concept and you are not changing them whatsoever. And you keep doing it over and over again, and you get the same result over and over again. So that's it. We are done. We're done. Have a special announcement. I'm going to rush through this because I want to make sure I answer you guys' questions and get you guys off to your families. So I have a 5-day marketing accelerator program. And forgive me, I spelled accelerator wrong. But I have this program coming up. I'm very excited about this. It starts on Monday through Friday. Okay. It is going to be on Facebook. It's an interactive group. We're going to do daily 45-minute master classes. And this is going to be mirroring a class that I took a couple years ago. It was not home care related. It was sales and marketing related, just standard business practice. But I wanted to do something like this specific for home care. So all of these 5 tips and tools that we went over, what we're going to do is break them down and work through them daily. okay? So each day we are going to be in this room. We're going to be implementing real life things. We're not going to be just talking about it like we did today on the masterclass, but we are actually going to take 5 days and get things done, okay? So we're going to develop a marketing strategy. We're going to develop a client referral program for your agency. So I'm going to give you instructions on how to do it. You're going to come in the room. We're going to work through it together. You're going to share. This is very interactive. You're going to set up a minimum of 2 social media platforms for your business. You pick. I'm not picking for you. You pick whatever you're most comfortable with. If you have questions about it, we'll do research together. We're going to do LinkedIn training exclusively because I feel LinkedIn is such an important tool in your business, and it's oftentimes overlooked. We're going to have a graphics day. We're going to talk about Canva. If you're not familiar with Canva, Canva is awesome. I'm using it now. And then we're going to wrap up, and that's going to give us an opportunity to kind of talk about the 5 days, see where you are, how you feel. You are required to go live. Again, interactive. You'll do an intro on your first day in, and then you'll do daily check-ins live as well to let us know. It's all about accountability. We're really focusing on being intentional. And what I want for you guys, I desperately want to see you all succeed. And I don't want you guys thinking that you cannot be a contender with a franchise home care. You absolutely can be a contender. When you go out and market your business, I want you to do that with pride. I want you to be fully equipped and know that you're just as good as Home Instead. And if I have any franchisees on here, I apologize. I'm just being honest. You're just as good as Senior Helpers. You're just as good. Your independent ownership does not mean less or poor quality. Okay? So that's coming up on Monday. So I'm going to talk about price. So it's value of $9.97. We're going to spend a lot of time together. I'm doing 5 straight days of coaching. But the investment price is $97. But because you all were so gracious to me and you came, I am giving it to you guys at a wonderful discounted price, 100% discount. So it is very much so free for you all to join. So I would love to have you all for that week. There's flexibility. I know you're busy. There's family. So if you can't make the lives during the time that they're going to be, which they're going to be in the evening, it'll probably be about 7 o'clock because I too have a family. But if you can't make the lives, they're always there. Just I ask that you stay on top of your assignments so that you can get the most benefit from the 5 days. So that link right there, you want to take it down or we can send it to you. That's the link for you to sign up. Again, for you to sign up, it is free. For those that weren't here, unfortunately, that will be the investment price for them. But for you wonderful individuals, you all will be able to take advantage of this amazing opportunity for free. So we had some freebies for you real quick. After this session in your email, it may take a little bit for us to make sure we have everybody's email correct, but you will receive a resource guide of free and low-cost business tools for your business. So I'm talking about all kinds of goodies. We've talked about blogs and mailing lists and all of this, organization and strategy. I have probably about 20 different items. Majority of them are free, that if you're not already implementing them in your business, you can absolutely look into implementing them in your business, and it will just make your business efficiency better. It's going to make you feel professional. You know, hey, I'm doing this. I have a process for this. I have a process for that. So you're posting on social media. If you want to post on multiple platforms, there's a free tool that you can utilize for that. We're going to go, we have Canva, it's free, all of that. So all that's going to be on the list for you guys. Then each of you, in addition to the 5-day accelerator, each of you this evening will get a 45-minute free one-on-one strategy session that does expire within 30 days. The link is here, but we're going to send you all of this information so that you'll have it in your email. So you're free to schedule that at your convenience, but please know it does expire. September 16th is the last day. The calls are set up for the evening time, except for Fridays or during the day. So there is flexibility for those of you that work. If none of those times work for you, please reach out to me directly and let me know, and we can see about scheduling something that works better for you. And our last freebie that we're giving you for attending tonight is our Masterclass replay, and it's called Creating Relationships with Hospice Providers. So you're going to be able to get another training to add to your toolbox when you're going out there and you're talking to professionals, okay? So we are done. I thank you all so much. We ran over a little bit. It was a lot of information, but I wanted to make sure you all received that information. I hope you all enjoyed it. So I am going to open this up. If anyone has any questions, let me check the chat here. Okay. So Ebony had asked, okay, if you all can let me know, please let me know. Hold on. She said, are the slides moving? Ebony, at that time I had put the slides on pause, so maybe that's what you're seeing. Let me stop the recording here.